Hey, welcome. In this little video, we are going to be building expressions using algebra tiles and an expressions mat. A quick reminder, remember algebra tiles are these pieces, little squares were worth 1. Our variable pieces, single variables, were rectangles, and x squared pieces were larger squares. More about those in a moment. Expression mats was this organization tool that's broken up into these regions where you have a positive region here, and this one you have a negative or an opposites, or you can think of it as subtraction. It depends on how you think about things. That's what this little video is meant to help. So the directions here, since we're drawing and we don't have color, the directions are to use an expressions mat, which we'll draw, and create two representations. And I've got two expressions here that we're going to try and create representations for. Let's remind ourselves is that when the shape is filled in, it's positive. When the shape is not filled in, it's the negative of that. So here's our first expression we're going to draw mats for. So I want to do at least two. So one way I could read this is the opposite of the quantity y minus 2. So I'm going to first work from the inside out, and I'm first just going to represent the inside of the parentheses first. So what's this telling me? It's telling me that I need one variable piece. So I'm going to make one. Remember, it's positive, right? That's a positive y. And this looks like, if I just look at this by itself, it looks like a negative 2. So I'm going to put two negative pieces in there. So there you go. There's the y, and there's like the negative 2. But remember, I'm taking the opposite of it. So here at this point, I'm going to draw my first mat. So I've got a little rectangle here. And it's going to divide it in half. There's the opposite side, and here's my plus side. And, well, one way I could do this, it's just simply the opposite of all this. So I could, if I wanted to, I could just draw this inside of here. So there's that piece. Here's these pieces, and there it is. It's the opposite of this, which is what this is. But I could also do it this way. Let me draw another expressions mat. Let me raise this up slightly. I'm trying to get it so that you can see all the expressions while I'm going here too. So this part's positive and this part's negative. Well, what happens if I take the opposite of each of these pieces? Well, this, if I take the opposite, that means I'm putting it on the other side of the mat. And if I do it, this simply becomes an unfilled piece, right? Right? Because the opposite of that moves it up here. And if I take the opposite of these two pieces and move them up here, they become pieces that look like this. Right? So when you flip from one half to the other, it does change how the fill is. Now let's actually look. What's this saying, right? Well, this is saying one positive variable piece, right? Oh, I'm sorry, a negative one, right? Unfilled. I got to keep that straight. So when it's not filled in, it's negative. And then I have two filled in, so two positive. It looks like this. Okay, now let's go back to our original problem. So the original problem looks like this, the opposite of this. So what happens when I distribute this negative sign inside here? Well, the opposite of y is negative y, right? And when I distribute this negative inside, it's the opposite of negative 2, positive 2. So you can see it works there. And we have two different representations. Let's try this example. So 5x minus the quantity 3 minus 2x. Well, this is saying I have 5 rectangles, right? 1. I'm going to try and draw fast here just for sake of time. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I've got the opposite. And I'm going to do the same thing again. 3 positives, right? There's a positive 1, positive 2, positive 3. If I can get my parenthesis on her. And I need negative 2x would be 1 rectangle. There's 2 negative x's. And so one way I could write this is as an expressions mat. Looks like this. Right, so I've got, this is my positive region, this is my opposites region, my negative region, my minus region. I have these 5 pieces here. 3, 4, 5. I'm trying to also not make this drawing so enormous. So there's my 5x, and I've got the opposite of this. So I'm going to put this in the opposite. So I've got 1, 2, 3, and then the 2 negative rectangles here. Well, I'm just going to apply the opposite and bring it over to the other side, just like I said. I'm going to move this up here. I hope this is viewable so it's usable, because I already feel like this video has gone too long. So I have my original 5. 1, remember this is my plus, this is my minus. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's my original 5x, right? Or yeah, 5x. I'm going to bring these, the opposite of this would make these turn into this direction, right? And then these would wind up, on the other side, would wind up becoming 2 filled in pieces. And now it looks to here like I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7x. And I have 1, 2, 3, negative 3 pieces. All right, let's double check this then. So if I was to double check this, 5x minus 3 minus 2x. If I distributed this negative sign inside of each piece, I would have 5x would come down. The opposite of 3 is negative 3, and the opposite of negative 2x is positive 2x. And I could see, hey, I can combine those two x's because they're both positive. 7x minus 3, which is exactly what this is showing. So I do hope that helps. One thing to bear in mind when you're doing this stuff is carefully consider how you're using minus versus negative versus opposite. Anyways, I do hope that helps. Mr. O signing out.